Hello, today I'm looking at Terraforming Mars by Jacob Fryxgames. It's one of the more popular games, so a lot of people have looked at it and shown how to play and all that. So I'll mainly not go through rules so much and all that, but just kind of play through it a little bit and see what I think about it. I've been looking for a good solitaire game. It has that option. I mean, it's a fairly big box. I mean, not huge, but it's probably, I don't know, 25-30% wider than a regular bookshelf game. Nice modern art, of course. Good overview on back here of components and kind of a high level of what it is. The taming of the red planet has begun. Corporations are competing to transform Mars into a habitable planet by spending vast resources and using innovative technology to raise the temperature, create a breathable atmosphere, and make oceans of water. As terraforming progresses, more and more people will immigrate from Earth to live on the red planet. You control a corporation with a certain profile, play project cards, build production, place your cities and green areas on the map, and race for milestones and awards. Shows the components. Rules, game board, 200 player markers, 200 resource markers, 5 player boards, 233 cards, 80 tiles, 1 to 5 players, 14 up. Game design, Jacob Fryxgames. Graphic design, Isaac Fryxgames. Publisher, this one is published by Indie Game Studios. Components, it really doesn't have a storage solution, but here it is. Got cards, rules, 16 pages of rules, 5 player cards, and these hexagonal tokens, several of those. Then a couple round tokens. And this is a GMT tray. It, like I said, it doesn't come with a storage solution, but this GMT tray works well for storing the various cubes. So works out very well for that. Recommend using that. Then the game board. Big assortment of these hexagonal tiles. You have, and one side might have one side, for instance, this is a city tile. The other side you might have greenery tile, ocean tile, and then there's different special tiles. Just a sampling here. There's 5 of these player boards. You have the production tracks, the mega credits, steel, titanium, plants, energy, and heat. And the markers, again, it doesn't come with a storage solution, but a tray from GMT Games works great for holding the markers. You have resource cubes, these metallic, there's copper, silver, and gold. Then you have temperature, oxygen, and generation markers, these white ones. Then the other colored cubes are the different player markers for the 5 different players. Then you have a first player marker, and then this marker as well. All the components are Well done. Pretty straightforward. Here's the game board. I guess lately I've been kind of used to doing big games. I was a little bit expecting the board to be a little bit bigger than it is, but it's about 17 inches by 21 or so. But it seems like it has what it needs to get the job done. See where the hexagonal counters go. You have the terraform rating, the generation track, and solo games where you start with those, oxygen, ocean tiles, temperature, bonus steps, standard projects, milestones and awards, and there's some placement bonuses, ocean reserved areas, and special reserved areas. So getting into the setup here of the solo game. So the cards, you take the corporation cards, which have this little red circle with white triangle there. And then you also take the normal cards and you just use them all. Kind of mix them up together. Then you draw 2 corporation cards and you choose one of them. I drew the Mining Guild and also Full Blog. I'll go with Mining Guild. It starts me off with some steel, and it gives me an advantage of each time I place a tile on an area with a steel or titanium placement bonus, you increase your steel production by 1 step, so I'll go with that. Corporation card. Normally you would start at, for solo you start at 0 for all the production levels, but since I have Mining Guild, it gives me 5 steel, which I'll indicate with the silver cube. Golds represent 10, and silver represents 5 each, and copper represents 1. And I start with 30 credits, which I'll show here. Start with the production of steel at 1, and starting with 5 steel. You start with 2 cities and 2 green areas. You randomly draw 4 cards. This will help with your placement. The first one, you go top, left to right. Skip over hexes you can't be on, which would be ocean hexes. Take 4 cards. Go to the credits. Here, that tells you how far to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put a city there. Discard that. And then as far as where the green goes, you go clockwise around at that number of the credits, so you can skip over these areas where you can't have green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 goes here. Ceremony to the bottom. This time you go backwards. Starting at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right here. Check out where the green area goes. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 18. Discard. And start with your generation track, or which is your turn. Starts that at 1. Start your terraform rating for solo starts at 14. And the game will end when you get to turn or generation 14. Start with oxygen at 0%. Start with temperature at -30. Put your ocean tiles here. Your terraform rate is increased each time you raise a global parameter, temperature, oxygen, or ocean. In order to win, you have to have. In order to win the cell game by turn 14, you have to have each of the parameters reach their goal. Oxygen reaching 14%, temperature meeting +8 Celsius, enough oceans, which should be 9. Then from the project card deck, you draw 10, and then you decide if you're going to keep some. You have to spend 3 mega credits for each one you're keeping. So up here's the cost. Here's the effect action, which you can use once each generation. Immediate effects. Then if there's victory points involved. So you got space mirrors, which cost 3. Spend to increase your energy production. Towing the comet is pretty expensive, 23. Gain 2 plants. Raise oxygen level 1 step. And place an ocean tile. So it's pretty good. And these are different tags up here. Building industries. Decrease your energy production 1 step. And increase your steel protection 2 steps. Earth catapult. Play a card. You pay 2 mega credits less for it. Got victory points. Advanced alloys. Give more value of what your metals produce. Solar wind power. Increase your energy production. Lake Marineris gets victory points for filling up Lake Marineris, but you gotta be at 0C. Kelp farming. Need 6 ocean tiles. Increase your MC production 2 steps. Your plant production 3 steps. Best of shipyard. Increase your titanium production 1 step. It's got some victory points. Trees, it's got to be at least -4C or better, or higher. Increase your plant production 3 steps. Gain 1 plant. Toy comments. Tempting. I think I'm gonna get that. That'll be a good one to have. And these are the ones you need different temperatures. I'll also do solar wind power, so I'll take 6 to do that. Spend 6 credits on the project card, so I'm down to 24 now. Then the first turn you skip the research phase, since I already got the cards for this first phase. And now we go to the action phase. Action phase, I can play a card, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the solar wind power, which costs 11. So I'll take the cost of that out. It has an immediate action. It doesn't have an ongoing action, but an immediate one. Where I increase energy production 1 step. So I'm up to 1 now. And I gain 2 titanium. Then we've used that project card. On a turn I can do 1 or 2 actions. I can do a project card, which I just did. I can do any of these standard projects here. I can claim a milestone, fund an award, use the action on a blue card, which are recurring actions, convert plants to greenery, and convert heat to temperature. I don't want to expend too many resources and money right now, so I'll just kind of stay where I'm at. Now we go to the production phase. All players do it simultaneously, but I'm just doing 1 player. You get credits according to the terraforming rating, plus any mega credit production. And the terraform rating is 14, so I get 14 credits. So I place those 14 credits up here, and I don't have any mega credit production, but I do have production for steel, which I'll add. Don't have any for titanium plants or heat, but I do have some for energy. And then if I had a recurring action, I'd indicate that that's been done. Now we're ready to the next generation, so I'll move it up to the second generation and start this next turn. Now when you get in the regular game, you draw 4 project cards and you can decide if you want to keep some of them for 3 each. These are the ones I drew. Electric Catapult, Terraforming Ganymede, Mining Expedition, Tundra Farming. Terraforming Ganymede's a little too expensive for me, I won't get that one. Mining Expedition can raise oxygen 1 step, remove 2 plants from any player, gain 2 steel. Again, you pretend there's another player. I'll get this one. Tundra Farming requires -C or greater, and I don't have that. Electrical Catapult is a repeating one, so it's handy to have. It's for 17. Electrical Catapult requires the oxygen to be at 8% though, and be a while before I get there. So I think I'll just get the Mining Expedition for now, so it'll be 3 credits. Then discard these others. Into the action phase here. First of all, since I'm the mining guild, each time I place a tile in an area with steel or titanium placement bonus, you increase your steel protection 1 step, but haven't done that yet. And for my 2 actions, one is gonna be using the Toy and Comet card, which does quite a bit. Spend 23. I'm down to 24 credits, so I barely have enough for it, but it's definitely worthwhile. I'll spend the 23. And as a result, I get 2 plants. Raise oxygen level 1 step. And place an ocean tile. So that's great benefit of getting the comet. Place it on the Viking side here. And since I raised a couple of the critical items, the water and also the oxygen, I get 1 point for each of those for the terraforming rating, so I moved up 2. And discard that. For the section action, I don't have any more. Basically, I only have 1 more credit, so I can't do any of these other standard actions. Could sell patents, I don't want to do that right now. Also use a recurring action on a blue card. Convert 8 plants to a greenery tile. Raise oxygen. Convert 8 heat to raise temperature. Claim a milestone, fund an award. Not going to do any of those. And by placing on the Viking site, I get the bonus of getting a couple cards there, which are interestingly rover construction, which seems appropriate, and also regolith theaters. So I'll add those to my deck. No more actions. And then go to the production phase. Production phase, first of all, your energy is converted into heat. So you move the cube here from energy to the heat box. And you get credits according to your Terraform rating plus any credit production. I was able to move my rating up a little bit, so I get 16. Then get production, produce 1 energy, produce 1 steel, solid production. So that's a relatively quick review of Terraforming Mars by Jacob Fryxgames. Quite enjoy it. I see why it's popular out there. It's pretty straightforward. Be interesting how it plays with multiple players. I'm glad it has a good solitaire mode though. It's definitely a game you could sit down and just kind of try to improve your previous scores by doing different strategies of what you're focusing on. It's kind of fun to watch the board fill up there. It'd be interesting, just a side note, I enjoy the series Expanse. It'd be interesting if there was like a variation of this that was kind of mimicked the terraforming steps they were doing for Mars. Just kind of an interesting thought. It's very enjoyable. Components are nice. It's compared to other games, it's kind of compact, which is kind of. I'm glad the game is. I'm glad the board isn't like unnecessarily big, because you're able to do everything with the size it is. Definitely enjoy it. I often do, kind of more wargamey kind of stuff, so it's a little bit different for me, but it's definitely a good solitaire game. I'm definitely happy to have it and would recommend it. Terraforming Mars from Jacob Fryxgames. I'll give it a 8 out of 10. Thanks a lot.